Today is Thursday, May 29th, and today is going to be day 300 of me sharing what I learned today. Kind of every day. I did 100-day spurts of doing these what I learned today videos every single day. So this will be technically day 100 of doing every day, but whatever. So today I wanted to talk about basically what I've learned over this whole entire season 1, 2, and 3 of me sharing what I learned each day. So I want to share kind of like why I started my whole YouTube journey kind of thing as of right now. I do want to share some of my results or analytics if any of you are interested in that, and I also just want to share some major learnings that have been consistent things that keep showing up in these what I learned today videos that I think if you were to just watch one of my videos, then this would be it. And then I also want to talk about kind of my plans for the future. So first, let's kind of talk about my journey, I guess, why I started this channel because first of all, I always wanted to have a YouTube channel. I always wanted to create content. It just seemed so fun to make videos and edit them and post them and get views and blah blah blah. That was just always a interesting concept to me ever since I was younger, before I even had a channel, trying to make all these videos or whatever. So I'd always been interested in this, but mainly I really started getting into the productivity, self-improvement kind of thing, where I would watch a lot of those videos, and it got me really, I just feel like I had these thoughts and things that I just thought about that I wouldn't talk about with other people, but I wanted to share with other people, I guess, if that makes sense. I just wanted to share what I was thinking about and my ideas and my thoughts about the world and what I'm learning about the world. And that's kind of how it started, because I just wanted to talk about these things that I don't usually get to talk about with other people. Kind of just going deeper than the superficial, right? Trying to get to the core of life, trying to just learn about life, learn about how it works, that kind of thing. So that's kind of why I started this channel. My first few videos were not good. I would not recommend you watch them, but once I had the idea to do the what I learned today videos of posting every day, talking about what I learned that day, and I think especially that first season, I'm calling them, the first days 1 through 100 were really a huge learning time for me, and understanding how YouTube works and how I'm gonna form the system for making these videos and how I'm gonna make these videos and blah blah blah. But also I just learned a lot. I learned about a lot, and I was able to share what I have been learning. And I think just in general, asking yourself that question of what did I learn today is a really good question to ask yourself every day, right? Just to understand what are you learning about life and how are you going to apply that coming into the next day. I did them because I really just wanted to get used to creating content and kind of, like I said, kind of force value out of each day, every single day, because at that time it just felt like life was very boring and every single day was the same. And I knew that this whole YouTube thing could be a medium for me to share my thoughts and also just be more productive and just have something to do every day that was more than just the school and the whatever that I was doing every single day, right? So it was a really good idea. I'm glad that I did it, but as I'm going to talk about later, I wouldn't necessarily recommend posting daily, but I'll talk about that later. So fast forward it to now. So I've gone through 3 seasons of what I learned today. So I did 1 through 100 every single day, back to back to back, and then I took a break, and then I did days 101 through 200, took a break, and then I did 201 through 300, which is this video. So I've made over 300 videos on this channel, which is really crazy, right? But now, especially the second half of season 3, it just hasn't been fun anymore, and it hasn't been as I haven't gotten my creative juices flowing. I've really just it's very easy whenever I make the effort to do something every day, I lose the value in it because I just try so hard to do it every single day that I'm just checking it off a list. And this is not just with these videos. This is with reading my Bible every day, working out every day, or reading every day, or whatever it is. Whenever I make the effort, make a serious effort, genuine effort to do something every day, the goal of doing it every day will have priority in my mind over the actual value of doing the thing, right? So this happens a lot when I read my Bible. I will prioritize just checking off the box rather than actually spending time with God and actually learning from my Bible, right? When I have this pressure that I put on myself to read my Bible every single day. So that happened with these videos because I'm trying to make these videos every single day. I have this pressure every day of like, oh, I have to get my video, I have to post this video, I have to edit this video, I have to film this video. And at night, I would always end up doing it at night because filming at night is just so much better because not only is it just quiet and I can just have my time, but also I have most of the day already done, so I can like pull more learnings from the day. But it's just got to a point where it's just not fun anymore, and it just feels like I'm checking off a box and I'm not actually getting the value of posting these videos as much as I used to, and I'm just checking off the box. And it, like, the last few videos, I'm not proud of them, and I don't, like, if I came across that video, I don't know if I would watch it, and that's kind of a annoying thing for me, because it kind of, I don't want to be making videos that I'm not proud of. I don't want to be making videos that I wouldn't want to watch, right? And before, when I started this What I Learned Today stuff, I was usually very passionate about what I was talking about, and I would have bajillions of ideas like flowing as I talked about these things. But recently that just hasn't been happening. I don't really know why. I guess it's just because I'm not really focusing on what I'm saying. I'm just focusing on getting the video out. So that's just been a really annoying and frustrating thing, and just the editing and my thumbnails have just not been as good as I'd like them to be because it's like late at night and I just want to get the video out and go to bed, right? So recently that's kind of how I've been feeling. And then on a more positive note, something that I've been learning recently through creating content is that I love making shorts. I love making short form content. It's really just a lot more fun, and it feels like I can reach a lot more people that way because it's a lot easier to get people to watch short form content. I have so many ideas for short form content and ideas because I love making, if you've seen any of my shorts on this channel, just making videos to like try to get people off their phones, or just get people to inspire people to like be more productive, or like get off their phones, or like whatever, right? Just making that kind of content has just been really fun for me. So as the What I Learned Today fun counter goes down, the short form content fun counter is going up. I don't know if that makes sense, but I've just been realizing that making shorts is a lot more fun, and I think I can reach a lot more people that way. And I think I'm going to talk more about this later, but I think I really want to prioritize making shorts in the future. I'm kind of confused at what I want my channel to look like, where I want to be at with this channel, because I've just been focused so much on making these What I Learned Today videos that it hasn't given me much space to actually think about, okay, what do I actually want this channel to look like? So recently I've been trying to do a lot of just like brainstorming, trying to figure out, okay, what message do I want my channel to convey? What vibe do I want to give off? What kind of content do I want to be making? What value do I want to be giving to the people watching my videos? And obviously I want to be helpful. I don't want to be making brain rot content, right? I want to, at the simplest form of it, I want to help other people, whether that is to get off their phones or to build a relationship with God or whatever, help their relationships. But I don't really know what that looks like right now. So I've been doing a lot to kind of try to figure out what I want to do, what I want this channel to look like. I haven't really reached a point where I know what that looks like, right? So I do think that in the future, there's definitely going to be a lot more experimentation with the videos that I'm making, the shorts that I'm making. I think that's another thing why I love shorts. I think it's the shorts are just like a really good place, I think, to experiment, because I definitely want to move towards more Christian content. I don't really know. but I think I just need to experiment a lot more. But yeah, I just am kind of confused as to where I'm at with my channel, so it's definitely going to take some figuring out. I kind of just like brute forced my way to where I am right now, just like posting every single day. I wasn't really optimizing my videos, and I haven't gone viral, and I haven't made any money off of my channel, right? So I don't know, this is just like me purely posting a lot of videos. Okay, so let's go into kind of my analytics, or kind of just where I am right now. I started with 0 everything, obviously. So over a year and a half, and from posting these daily videos, I have amassed 2,437 subscribers, right? I've amassed 130,000 total views across the whole channel. And then in the last 28 days, I don't know if this is going to be a helpful number, but in the last 28 days, I have gotten 24.5 thousand views, which is about a fifth of my total views, which is kind of nice because I've been doing this for a year and a half now. So I do think I am on steady growth, right? But I don't know, it just feels like I might talk about this later, but I don't think this method of just posting every day and kind of hoping your channel blows up is not a good method. Now, I wasn't really expecting anything huge to happen. I was mainly posting just for the value that I can give to others and the value it provides to me, and not necessarily the view counts that I get and the subscribers and the money and the whatever. Obviously, it would be really cool if I could monetize my videos. That would just be really cool, because this has always just been like a side thing. But yeah, I never really was focused on the views or the subscribers. I just want to make good content. Now, recently, it's been kind of rough, as I mentioned, but yeah, and most importantly, I think more important than any of those numbers is that I've built a really good community. I started a Discord, and I'll talk about that later, but I really think that seeing the same people comment on my videos every day and watch my videos every day, having these consistent views, it has been one of the most encouraging parts of making YouTube videos. The amount of comments that I get, they're saying like, oh, this I saw this video at the perfect time, this really helped me. Like, those are what those comments are just really encouraging, and it's just great to get those comments. And I haven't really gotten hate comments. There's been like maybe 1 or 2, but yeah, the amount of comments that I get just like telling me that like my videos are helping has been really encouraging, especially for videos that I didn't really feel proud of, or videos I didn't really say what I wanted to say in the right way, but then I get a comment that's like, oh, this video really helped me and it reached me at the perfect time. Like, it's really encouraging, and it really goes to show like one big thing that I've learned from making these videos is that like it's kind of like one person's trash is another person's treasure kind of thing, except it's one person's, like a lot of times I'll just say things just because I've always thought about it that way, but then other people have never thought about the world in that way, if that makes sense. So everyone has different perspectives on life, and I'm just kind of sharing my perspectives and what I'm learning, and sometimes that just clicks with another person who's never heard it in that way before, and that's just a really cool thing about being able to reach people in this way. So now let's move on to just some more general learnings that I have accumulated over posting these What I Learned Today videos. So first I'll go into some advice that I've learned for people who want to start a YouTube channel, or for people who already have a YouTube channel. Now, keep in mind, I am a small channel, right? 2,000 subscribers is, like, if you put 2,000 people, or 2,400 or whatever, in a room, then that is a buttload of people. Like, that is really cool, and I'm very thankful and blessed to have that, and it's really cool. But also, it's kind of relative, the way you think about it, right? If you compare that, obviously, comparison is bleh, but if you compare that to all the other channels, right, 2,000 subscribers is a small channel. But I think that most channels don't really get past 1,000. So I'm really, this is just really cool for me, right? So a few pieces of advice for people who want to start a YouTube channel, or already have one, or maybe you have a bigger channel, smaller channel. I think these are just some helpful things that I've learned that I haven't heard from, the traditional YouTube growth advice kind of stuff. I don't really hear this stuff talked about. So the first thing is that YouTube takes time and patience. You see all these videos of like, oh, this person blew up, they got monetized in only 30 days. And yes, that is definitely possible. But I think it's not as easy as you think, right? All these videos are like, oh, I blew up a channel to prove it's not luck or whatever. Like, that's definitely possible, but I think it's just a lot harder than you think. YouTube is obviously the process of you're just filming a video and posting it on a platform. That's easy, but actually being good at it is harder than people make it seem. And obviously the knowledge and the skills are out there. It's just harder to implement than you realize. And the harsh truth is that it does take time and it does take patience. Now, obviously, like I said, it's possible to grow a channel in a really short amount of time, but for me, I was kind of hoping that would happen when I first started the channel, and I was kind of hit with this reality of, oh, this actually takes time. It hasn't even been 2 years yet, right? 1.5 years is relatively not a very long time, but I've been able to grow to over 2,000 subscribers and 130,000 views, and that's super cool. But it kind of, in a way, took longer, and you see all these success stories, and you're like, oh, why am I not there yet, right? Why am I not seeing success? I'm doing the same thing they are, maybe. I've been posting for longer, maybe I've posted more videos, whatever, and you don't see that same success that you see in all these stories and all these, YouTube growth videos. It's not as easy as they make it seem, and it does take time, and it does take patience, and, wherever you are, you can't fail if you never stop. Giving up and stopping is guaranteed failure, right? But if you just never stop, and you find a way to enjoy it, then you won't care about the numbers. And hopefully eventually you can get there one day. So everyone is on their own journey, and mostly YouTube takes more time and more patience than you think. And maybe you have a channel and you have less than 1,000 subscribers, but you've been doing it for 3 years. But I have over 2,000 subscribers, and I've been doing it for only 1.5 years, right? Like, everyone is on their own journey, and you don't need to be insecure, and you don't need to be you don't need to feel bad about the fact that other people are achieving more success in less time than you, right? Everyone is on their own journey. It takes more time you think. It's not as easy as everyone makes it seem, right? YouTube is just YouTube is hard, and it's just not as easy as people make it seem. And that's one of the biggest things that I get frustrated with when I watch all this YouTube growth advice, right? They make it seem really easy, but it's not as easy as they make it seem. So, yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing that I would say is that, like I said, I would not recommend posting daily unless it's short form, right? I don't think posting a long form video, even if it's only like 3 minutes long or whatever, I just wouldn't recommend it, because it is like, if you're anything like me, you'll end up just doing it just to do it and not actually focusing on the value of the content, right? I definitely recommend, maybe twice a week or once a week, or depending on the kind of videos that you're making. I think with my kind of content, I think it's kind of the best case scenario with like minimal editing, minimal that. But even in my best case scenario, it was still hard, right? And it was still annoying to think, okay, I want to go to bed now, and it's like midnight, and I was like, oh wait, I still have to edit and film a video, and then I like end up going to bed really late, which is just not good for you, right? And like, sleep is good for you, so don't compromise your sleep or your health or whatever just to get these videos out every single day. So I think it's okay to, making something every day is a very, impressive thing, but I think, especially me, I value it too much, doing something every single day of the month or every single day of the whatever, right? Just do what works, right? Whether that's every other day or maybe twice a week or once a week, whatever. Find what works, right? I would not recommend posting daily. Now, I think posting daily on shorts is a completely different story. I think that is completely doable. No matter what kind of shorts you're making, it's definitely a lot easier to post short form content daily, especially if you're just cutting up long form videos, or maybe recently I've been trying to experiment with making vlogs, and that's just been more fun than like, oh, I have to get this thing done. And I haven't been putting the pressure on myself to post every single day. So yeah, don't post every day unless you really, really want to. But if you really, really want to, then make sure you have a good reason why, because I would probably assume that you would end up losing the quality and instead you just be focusing on posting every day. So just find what works, find the system, the schedule that works for you. The third thing that I wanted to say is that you should make videos that you're proud of and that you would watch yourself. So that was something that I didn't do over the past few videos that I've been making. I don't know that I would watch them myself if I saw them on my feed, if I would click on that, right? And that's just, it's not a good feeling to have. And I think that if you want to make good content, one of the things that I've heard a lot is to just make videos for younger you, or make videos for previous you, whatever. So like, make videos that you would actually want to watch, that would actually bring value to you. If you don't feel good about this video, maybe you feel icky about it, maybe you would think, oh, that's not good enough, or maybe it's, now obviously, don't be a perfectionist about it, right? Don't be a perfectionist. I talk a little bit about that later. Trying to make something perfect is a never-ending chase, right? We cannot be perfect. We're like sinful people, right? We can't be perfect. So there will always be something more you can do. So I do think that it is good to say, okay, this is good enough. But if you have a negative feeling over the video, then I don't know that, like, try to, like, make videos that you're proud of, right? Don't have a negative feeling about the video. Just, if it's good enough and you have a generally positive feeling about the video, then I think it's okay. I think another thing is that, like, another thing that YouTube growth advice talks about a lot is just, like, having a perfect title and thumbnail, having perfect content and hooks and the script, whatever. I think if it's good enough, it's good enough. Not every single video needs to be an absolute banger. Not every single video needs to be viral. The whole point of YouTube is just posting your videos, right? You're trying to show the people watching your videos who you are like, and I just want to help people through that, right? So I don't think that we should stress so much about having a perfect channel and having perfect videos, perfect viral videos that are perfect title and thumbnail and whatever, right? I think if you have a channel, right, it's supposed to reflect you and who you are. So if you think a video maybe reflects you more or reflects you better than if you try to make it viral or try to make it, algorithm optimized, then I would post the one that reflects you better, right? Because authenticity is the word when trying to make good content. You want to be authentic. The next thing that I wanted to say is that with these What I Learned Today is a lot of times I would just ramble, and I think it is definitely okay to ramble. I'll talk about that in the next point, but at least have a bare minimum structure of what you want your video to look like, right? I think if you want to make these kinds of just like raw videos with minimal editing, kind of just you yapping, I think that is perfectly fine, and I think you can get some really banger videos out of that. But have some kind of structure, because if you don't have just a simple structure to your video, then it can just not turn out well, and that's what I found through the videos that I've been making. When I didn't have a structure, it was just kind of bleh, and I didn't feel very good about the video. But even if you don't need to have a whole script, right? You don't need to have a whole outline. Just have okay, this is what I want to say and what I want to say about it, right? Just have a general structure of what you want your video to look like. And to go along with that, speak your mind, ramble, okay? Even if you're scripted or if you use an outline or whatever, if something pops into your brain, then say it. Because I have found so many good ideas from just talking and just saying the next thing that comes up in my mind, right? That is what editing is for. Editing is to cut out the ramble and just deliver pure value, right? So speak your mind, okay? If you think of something, then say it, because you can always cut it out later. And like I said, I found so many good ideas, so many connections that just really, analogies that really just make more sense to me and help me explain it better. And just, rambling has yielded so many good ideas and so many good ways to say things than I would ever think. So definitely speak your mind, ramble, because that is what editing is for. You never know what kind of gems of knowledge you will find from just saying this idea that just popped into your brain. Okay? The last thing I want to say, I kind of already said this, but prioritize the value of the video, what you're saying, over the packaging, right? Like I said, we're trying to provide some kind of value to the viewer, right? Another thing that kind of goes along with like having a simple structure, figure out what your audience is. Figure out like, okay, who is this video for specifically? Anyways, we're trying to provide value to the viewer, and I think it's more important to prioritize your value over prioritizing the packaging and the editing and the title and thumbnail and all that kind of stuff. Because if you prioritize the packaging over the value of the video, then that's just clickbait, right? And you will not feel good about the video. I did that a lot. I would have a great idea for the title and the thumbnail and the packaging, and then I wouldn't deliver on that. And if you have a great idea, then actually deliver on it, right? If you're going to prioritize the packaging, then actually make sure you deliver on that. Because if you don't, then just don't do that, right? But just in general, prioritize the value of the words you're speaking, the ideas you're providing. Prioritize that over the packaging. Although packaging is super important, and that is something that I really, really need to work on. Okay, so now we can move into some more general learnings. Some of these are kind of just general learnings for people who don't want to start a YouTube channel, who are just watching my videos. But also some of these are things that I know I've talked about in many of these What I Learned Today videos, right? That are just really important things to remember. So, first thing, start whatever you want to start. Now, not how. If you want to start a YouTube channel, if you want to start some kind of project, learn how to play an instrument, start a habit, just start now, right? Now, not how, because starting is the hardest part, and figuring out how to do something has been easier than it ever has been before, right? Learning how to do something is much, much easier than actually doing it. So start with the do. Start with taking action. Just start that thing, right? If you're procrastinating, just start that thing, right? Start whatever you want to start, whatever you've been thinking about, just start it and go from there, right? You can make progress from there. From there, right, this is my second thing, consistency first and then quality. So build the routine, build the consistency, and then slowly improve upon your videos. In season 1 and season 2 of the What I Learned Today videos, I just started with, okay, I'm just going to post every day, get this consistency down, right? And then season 2, I was able to really improve upon those videos, have better, quality of the video, have better thumbnails, titles. Now, I'll be honest, in season 3, the quality of the videos kind of went down. But, focus on building the consistency first and then increase the quality of the work, right, of whatever thing you're trying to do. Another thing that is really helpful, build systems, right? Build systems for whatever thing you're trying to do, for your life, for this skill you're trying to learn. Build systems for, everything, basically. Because systems allow you to do the thing without actually thinking about it, right? It's like a habit. So build systems, how are you going to, let's take YouTube, for example, right? How are you going to post every week, right? Okay, Monday, I'm going to think of an idea. I'm going to work on the idea, maybe the packaging. Tuesday, I'm going to film it. Wednesday, I'm going to edit it. Find those kinds of systems, right? And it doesn't have to be over a week. It could just be over a day or over 1 hour or whatever. Build those systems. Next thing, simplicity over perfection, right? Things can get really complicated when we try to perfect something, and we can overcomplicate things and add too many, features, right? Focus on simplicity, right? I've heard something, build a framework rather than just having a bunch of features, right? Make it simple rather than just having a bunch of overcomplicated perfectionism. Right? Keep things simple. Whatever you're trying to do, you're probably overcomplicating it. Keep it simple, right? And this, like I said, this is more general advice. This is in just life, right? You don't necessarily need to have goals. You don't necessarily need to have a YouTube channel. Just simplicity over perfection. And the next few things are just things that I know I've talked about in a lot of videos. My number one tip for dealing with procrastination, just start small. Take one step that gets you closer to doing that thing, right? Take one step. My number one tip for focus, fix your environment, right? Adjust to all of your senses, right? Can you see your phone? Then you're probably going to grab your phone. So remove your phone, right? Do you have good music? Do you have good ambient sound, right? Fix your environment. Do you have all your materials around you? That is my number one tip for focus. Another thing, have a plan for every day. This is something I've just been learning in life myself. Just like, if I don't have a simple idea of what I want to do today, then it will not go well. Just like how I was talking about, if you don't have just a basic idea of what you want to talk about in your video, then it's not going to go well, right? So build a structure for your videos, build a structure for your day, even if it's just really simple. Okay, what are the 3 main things that I want to get done today? Cool, let's bang them out, right? Okay, these next few are really important. Long-term over short-term. Long-term over short-term. Prioritize your long-term over your short-term, right? The Bible talks about how we should be looking to the eternal, right? Prioritize future you over now you, right? That's why we pick up our phone, because we're prioritizing the short-term. We're prioritizing present me because we want to escape from something, right? But if we prioritized future me, then instead of picking up our phone or procrastinating on something, we would just do the thing, right? And also, the further you extend it out, the more important it becomes, right? So if you think about, okay, full long term, if we think about eternity, where is your eternal home going to be, right? And that is a really important question that we need to figure out right now so that we have that peace of mind, and so we're not, prioritizing the short term and prioritizing present me and doing all these things that won't actually matter in the end, right? Because if you prioritize the short term, then that's not going to matter in the end, right? If you prioritize scrolling, that scrolling doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't matter in the end. If you prioritizing, putting yourself treasures in this world, right? Trying to seek fame, seek money, and all these things that are going to pass away when you die, that doesn't actually do anything. But if you seek treasures in heaven, right? Seek a relationship with God, those kinds of things, and that's actually going to last, right? So prioritize the long term over the short term, always. This is a motto that I try to live by, long term over short term. And then the next thing, this is what I like to call the most important thing in life, which is relationships, right? Prioritize relationships. Now, I think there's a study done where they asked older people who are about to die, what do you regret, right? And they all said, I wish that I spent more time with my friends and family, right? So not only do you need to be prioritizing your relationships, because that's just the most important thing that we need to prioritize, right? Because it's just human to human connection, right? With your family, with your friends, trying to actually have good connections with your friends and not just superficial relationships, but actually deep relationships that will last for a really long time. Having those kinds of relationships is a huge blessing, and there's no downside to it, right? So not only do you need to be prioritizing your relationships with the people around you, but also prioritize building a relationship with God. And if you can't tell, I'm a Christian, and I just believe that that's really important, right? So really just prioritize building a relationship with God and building deeper connections and relationships with the people around you. The last thing I wanted to say is that if you're watching this video and you were to never watch you were never going to watch any of my videos ever again, then I would say to just think more deeply about life and consider, why we're here, consider why we're here and think about, maybe there's a creator, right? And that's what I believe in. I just think that, obviously as a Christian, I'm trying to share with others the reality of, the fact that there is a creator and we were created to be on this earth to glorify God, but then sin happened and that separated us from him, but then he sent his son to die and rise again so that we can, be reconnected with God basically, and we don't have to sin and we can build that relationship with him, right? So I would just say think about life more deeply. Don't be so superficial with others. Don't be so superficial about life. Think about it a little more deeply and just consider, why we're here. What are you actually trying to do here on earth? And I know those are deep questions and those are stressful questions, but there's a reason why they're deep and stressful. It's because they're important, right? So you need to figure these things out. And I know that the answer is in the Bible. So I would encourage you to look to that, look to God, and look to the Bible in order to answer these questions, right? But also, just in general, whether or not you believe in God, life is so interesting. There's so much you can do in this life. There's so many interesting things about life, and all the different aspects of life, of engineering and of art and of philosophy and like all these different things, biology. Everything is so interesting, and that's honestly one of the reasons why I believe in God, because like his creation is so beautiful and amazing and cool, right? But this life is just interesting, and like I've been asking myself what I've been learning about life over the past 300 days and more, right? Life is just really interesting, and I just think we should be learning more about life and trying to think more about life, and yeah, just consider more about life. Throughout one of my little brainstorming sessions to kind of try to figure out what I want this channel to look like, one of the kind of things that kind of mission statements that I was kind of thinking of is motivating people to be more curious, thoughtful, intentional, and passionate about what they're doing and the world around them, right? So hopefully that resonated with you. That's kind of just one of the ideas that I had for what I want this channel to look like, and I just think it's important to consider and be more intentional about our lives and the world that we are living in. Okay, so then the last thing I wanted to talk about is just what's next, right? What's next for this channel? And to be honest, I don't really know. I'm definitely going to be taking a break from these daily videos, and I honestly don't know if I'm going to come back to posting these daily what I learned today videos, right? I just need time to figure out what I want this channel to look like, what I want the videos to look like. I have lots of ideas for lots of videos that I want to post, but I just need time to figure out like what that's gonna look like. And like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna go back to posting daily. Right now, the rough idea is 2 videos a week, a more well-produced, more well thought out, more researched video, and then like a more raw video like this, sharing what I learned or something similar. But I really just want to stop thinking so much about getting the video out and focus more on just making good videos and making valuable content that I'm actually proud of and that I would actually watch. I definitely think that over the summer I'm also going to be posting a lot more shorts, hopefully daily. I'm not really sure about that yet, but I think shorts are just a lot more fun right now, and I think I'm just really excited about posting shorts right now, and so I think I would really be prioritizing making shorts over the summer. Now obviously I still want to be posting lots of videos over the summer because I have so much time to do that because I don't have school. So I don't really know what I want the channel to look like, what I want videos to look like right now, but I'm just gonna figure that out, spend some time figuring that out. The last thing I wanted to talk about was my Discord. So I made a Discord a while ago, and I just it was not what I expected because I don't really use Discord in general, and it was just a lot more stressful and harder to manage than I thought it was gonna be. And it's still up, and I hope you join because I want it to be a community of people who are just trying to learn about life, be curious about life, be, more intentional, more thoughtful about life, and try to just improve at it, right? And, all those things. So you can join, the link is in the description, but I'm kind of like my channel, I'm still trying to figure out what I want that to look like. I have lots of ideas, I'm just trying to figure out a system to make that work, right? So apologies if you are someone who joined the Discord and have noticed that I have not really been active because I've honestly just been avoiding it, and it's just kind of stressful to me, and I'm also stressed about like trying to figure out what I want my channel to look like and all that kind of thing. So I'm still trying to figure that out. Also, I just have lots of really fun and good ideas that I'm really excited for my channel and for my Discord. So I'm really hoping that this summer will be a really good time for growth, but I don't want to make any promises that I can't deliver on. So you'll just have to wait and stay tuned. But I know this was a really long video, but if you are still here watching, then I really, really appreciate you because, this was a long video, and if you are one of the few people who stayed until the end, then thank you so, so much. If you are not subscribed, then please subscribe for videos about, trying to learn about life, be curious about life, be intentional, thoughtful about life, all those things. So subscribe. Like I said, thank you so, so much for watching. Comment down below if you have any ideas, if you have any specific ideas of videos that you want to see. I'm still in the brainstorming stage, which is kind of weird because I've posted over 300 videos and I have over 2,000 subscribers. So you would think that I would have an idea of what I want my channel to look like, but alas, it is not so. So, like I said, thank you so much for watching. I know it was a long one, but yeah. If you never watch one of my videos again, then just consider why we're here. Think on life more, be more intentional. Don't be so superficial with life, and try to learn more about it and try to get better at this. So that is what I learned today. That is what I wanted to talk about today. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos, then definitely subscribe. This is the video I posted yesterday. You can subscribe in that corner, and if you subscribe, I will see you in the next video